how do you, not as the founder, come in and get the buy-in from the team? I have not been in that situation, but I'm curious, how did you do that?
Yeah, well, one, frankly, I have the benefit of a long career working with founders, and I believe really deeply that the power of founders and the insight, the founder insight, and what founders have to do and have done for their companies is just amazing. And I think I've worked with a pretty amazing mix of founders over the years. And I work today with some amazing founders. And Dirk, our founder CEO, when he and I met a couple years ago, one of the first things I spent was time getting to know him and you really helping him, being an advisor, being someone that we would get together and talk about the business, talk about things like you and I are talking about. And so one, I think you inherently, in my opinion, I value and appreciate founders, and I think there's actually magic in what founders bring to tech companies, right? And I think there's other people out there that would probably support that as well, right? In the benefit of founders, and so it starts there first. As an extension of that, it also starts with an appreciation for you're walking into a situation that is well underway, right? Especially at scale, right? And so you have to walk in and appreciate that there is a going concern that has opportunities and challenges, and you've got to appreciate what the team has done. You got to appreciate what the founders have done. You got to appreciate what the current leadership team is doing, and, I find sometimes people step in an environment, and to your point, how do you build credibility? Well, you got to build understanding and trust, right, to start with, right? So if I show up and I'm curious and I'm genuinely interested in learning about the business and understanding what people have done and what the challenges have been, then you can begin to really and that create that environment of trust. Then you can begin to really build credibility and have the trust that now you're being a part of versus coming in and now obviously it's situational. Are you in a turnaround? Are you in a, are, for us, we are continuing to scale and go to what's next. Obviously, if you step into something where, if it were a company in duress or you were in a turnaround or retrenchment, totally different thing. So again, situation matters. I think for us, it was a growing, healthy company in a big market with a unique technology advantage and just incredible customers, right? We're able to solve real business pain for.
Hmm. So that's interesting. So you actually knew him for a while. Like that relationship was, I mean, just by math, that's like a year before you joined. Essentially, you had some relationship.
Yeah, exactly. And it started out with, as you can imagine, a connection through investors, through a community. Is one of the things as a CEO, it's a lonely job, right? So a lot of people say is anytime you have an opportunity to meet with other leaders, other CEOs, other people, and investors, people that have gone through similar experiences, you're always looking to, as a mentor used to tell me is you always look for more people in the cabinet, right? When you have a question or need help, someone you can kind of go talk to. And so with Dirk, he and I, yeah, I think it was about 2 years prior, we first met, talked about the business, where he was going, and it was purely networking and building a relationship. And then over time, we talked, more and more, and then that led to, hey, maybe this would be a good thing that we could do together.
Hmm. I think that makes a huge difference because I think the trust there, because it's someone giving you their baby, basically.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it is like a baby. I mean, a founders, I mean, they're, you've created something and it's now growing and building and you want it to be healthy and you want it to realize its full potential. So as a child or as a baby, if you will, I mean, maybe that's similar, but you're like, you want to see that realize its fullest potential.